Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Dan Anderson wishing you very, very welcome on this Global Associate webinar. It's kind of a good one today as well. We've got some updates about where we are, some projects that we're delivering on, and it kind of makes the point again, without wanting to blow my own trumpet or wanting to sort of be self-congratulatory on behalf of Leo, but it just proves again how real we are as a business in a world and sometimes an industry that's full of exaggeration and a bit of nonsense. But no, you can judge for yourself when you go through this, but we're very, very happy. Me here was wanting to be here today, but he can't because he's in Nepal. Why is he in Nepal? Because we funded that school over there. So next week, you'll see some great footage from a school that Leo built. 100% funding came from our Leo charity program. And we're actually making a huge difference to the community there. On Friday, me here went to Newcastle in England, and you'll see that next week as well. And we contributed to 4 schools in the United Kingdom, where these schools now have outdoor educational resources that they didn't have before. I don't quite know what that means, but that's what you'll hear from me here next week. And we're very excited by this almost organic sliding towards from an entrepreneurship training ethos or core business into an educational frame where we're touching on children, and especially children not in the case of the UK, but children in underprivileged areas. And Miha and I were talking about this today, saying that we should launch 1,000 schools. With the power of direct selling and the power of network marketing, if we could launch 1,000 schools, say that these schools had 100 students each, that's 100,000 students this year, and then next year, and over the next 10 years, it could grow into 1 million, and it can go into 10 million people, and then it touches so many people. I thought that would be a worthy goal for all of us to really make an impact on life as we know it. So having some fairly serious and deep thoughts in this direction of what we can do with our business model that are certainly inspiring me. In terms of this agenda here today, we have some events that we want to talk about, especially one very important one in London. We've got some news footage that I think is very, very cool. Leo Coin 3 updates, incentives and notices. So we have Leo Property Crowd. As you know, we launched Leo Crowd a few years back, and we had a terrific friend of mine from times past called David Johnston, who took on this project as the managing director. And we launched a reward model where people with their project can come in and give rewards to people, so that if they were making a thing, they could say for such a donation or such a amount invested, we can give you one of these products, or we can give you a signed t-shirt, or we can give you this. And of course the rewards model is absolutely massive, but found that there were some limitations to that. And one of the things that we thought would reverb very, very nicely, both with our community and with what we see as our footprints and our company's competencies and kind of philosophy, was a property crowdfunding exercise. And this is a big project for us that has finally come to roost and kind of finally got over the dotted line. It's taken a long time, and we've done this work because we are fully regulated and fully compliant, and I'll get David to tell you more about that. But this is, again, not some nonsense hanky-panky thing, but this is something that gives you confidence that we are doing real things in the real world. So David Johnston, you are the managing director for this venture. Are you there?
I am indeed, Dan. Good morning to you. How are you?
Very, very good indeed. And you?
Yes, very well indeed, very well. So it's a pleasure to be on the call today to share with the Leo leaders around the globe about this exciting development.
And there's been a fair amount of work gone into this, David, I think that's fair to say, right?
Yes, I would say the last 14 months, it's really been perhaps my main project. Perhaps some of the Leo leaders wondered had I gone into hiding perhaps the last few months? I hadn't been quite as visible as perhaps we had been a year or so ago. But as you say, there's been a lot of preparation, planning, particularly with regulation, making sure we got this right before we could bring it to the market and share it with the Leo world.
And what are the big pieces of the work, if we were to summarize it for our audience today?
In terms of the platform itself, it has to be FCA regulated, Financial Conduct Authority regulated. So for those around the world, in the UK, they'll get it straight away. But outside the UK, this is kind of the governing body that regulates all types of investment within the UK, and they are notoriously sticklers for everything being done right. So we're actually having to be able to take investment money from people. So the whole setup of the platform is very, very detailed. The security alone on this, because you could be potentially dealing in millions of pounds of investment in a short period of time. So the hardware, if you like, the IT, but then there's also setting up the whole brand in a competitive market space where we're looking for investors and looking for projects. So that also takes time to get that brand out in the marketplace.
One of the things that I explained to the Chinese on the previous scam was that one of the key pieces of work that I see is that you kind of built a bit of a Leo property crowdfunding brand around some of the masterclass stuff, and then setting ourselves up to be the consultants and facilitators and trainers in this space.
Yes, very much so, and I think that's some of the exciting news for the Leo members and the leaders on this call, Dan, is because it is called Leo Property Crowd, and we're very much, our DNA is in keeping with the Leo DNA. So our marketing message, how we've engaged with developers and investors, is look, you can learn how to earn from owning and property assets. So it fits in beautifully with our ecosystem. It's very much part of what we're trying to do is to educate people into the benefits that they can have from engaging in a platform as this, be they a developer or an investor.
Yeah, because one of the things, I don't want to sort of derail you from the PowerPoints and what have you, but one of the key things is this FCA approval, the Financial Conduct Authority, and I was just reading online yesterday, in fact, that some 68,000 businesses in the financial services space have to be regulated by this authority, because it's all about investments here, isn't it?
Yes, very much so, and that's a key message to the Leo members to understand that this is a mainstream, it's a real solid business that is governed by one of the most stringent government financial organizations in the United Kingdom, and we've had to go through a stringent process just to become an authorized platform. I am now an appointed representative. I've had to go through hours of training to have that endorsement, that authorization. So the Leo members can take encouragement and take a lot of solace from the fact that Leo is so mainstream as an organization. They now have an FCA authorized compliant company as part of the ecosystem.
Interesting, because we were just laughing in the office on Friday, because someone shared with us some PowerPoints from one of these scams that goes through, that were kind of pretending that Companies House was an endorsing body for their property venture in the UK, that people would somehow magically get cryptocurrencies and a benefit from. But direct selling is not about investment. It's about selling products, and we all know that distinction. So this is something that is part of the ecosystem, but it's not specifically a product that members can sell, right? Correct.
Yes, correct. So it's not part of the pay plan in terms of BPRP, etc. But it's an opportunity that a Leo member who understands the ownership potential, it's like being part of the Leo membership family, allows you to engage with this company, and then you can start to build your own investment portfolio if you so wish, from products on the platform, or you may even have a project that you wish to get funded. So it's a brilliant opportunity for Leo members to start to own assets in this space.
And if someone was marketing an opportunity to make money from selling an investment in a multi-level marketing platform, they would be basically breaking the regulatory framework in the UK.
Yes, without question. To operate and promote investment without having your license or authority, it's literally it's class A fraud. You go to jail for it. So that's why we. Oh, 100%, 100%. If you break financial promotions, if you go out there and look for investment into this type of project or this type of platform, and you're not regulated, you don't have a license, then people literally go to jail for this.
Yeah. So here we have an event in London.
Yes, indeed. This was 14 months in preparation. This was last Tuesday. We had over 100 people came to help us celebrate this exciting launch. Some of them were already sophisticated investors, people in the property space who were just very interested to hear what we were bringing to the market. We were also, if you want the next slide, you'll see that we're also joined by some of the Leo members from London. So Amir brought some of his team down. It was great he could join us, and it was great to see the Leo members so they could understand better what we're doing here. But we had a brilliant launch. Mahir was down, and some of the staff from Oxford to help us out. So it really went so well with what we were trying to do, and we officially launched. We had poppers going off, we had music going, and we officially launched on a countdown this exciting new platform.
Well, I imagine that with our direct selling expertise, we would be able to run a very, very good event from a crowdfunding perspective.
Yes, very much so, and that's not something that perhaps some people in property are used to the way we can do things, but they were very, very pleased and enjoyed the way we do events, and we've had a very good marketing video done on the back of it that we'll get out to the Leo members as soon as that's again authorized. Every single thing we do.
I'm looking at the crowd shot of 100 people. There was only a small amount of Leo members there, I think.
Under 20. I think about 17, 18 Leo members.
Okay.
The rest were property investors, developers from London.
Because you are trying to marry or make a marriage happen between a property investor and a property developer. Basically, that's the platform that you're building.
Yes, indeed. So it's simply facilitating those developers and landlords who have projects that they want funded, and perhaps they can't get it from the banks, or perhaps they have some funding from the banks but need to provide their own equity to access the bank funding. So we actually bring together developers and investors. Similar to Leo Crowd, we're simply facilitating two groups of people that have a need. Investors want to make money, want to earn income off investments, and developers need investment in order to do projects. So it's a win-win, potentially win-win for all parties, and that's why it's so exciting going forward.
Yeah. And so the leopropertycrowd.com is live?
Yes, indeed, absolutely. You can go on and anyone can register and get access to the platform. So I would encourage all the Leo leaders particularly, but any Leo member on the call, you can go on to leopropertycrowd.com and register for the platform and stay in touch with what we're doing.
Yeah. And only UK and EU projects initially then?
Yes, and it's important to get that message out again to the Leo leaders. So because this is an FCA compliance issue, they want the vast majority of projects to be UK based and the majority of investors initially to be UK based. We do have some scope for some of the senior Leo pin holders. They contact me directly. We do have some scope to let people overseas invest in some projects, but we'll deal with that on a one-on-one basis. But through time, we hope to be able to open both projects and investors to the wider Leo family.
Yeah, and in a crowdfunding sense, then there's a number of people doing property crowdfunding in the UK and in Europe and in the world. What's our USP and what's our selling point? What makes us different?
Yeah, really good question, and again, very excited by the response we had on Tuesday. So first of all, within crowdfunding, the valuable experience that we have gained from running Leo Crowd for these past 3 years has meant that we have a very detailed knowledge of how crowdfunding works, particularly in the area of tribe building. And this is where Masterclass comes in, because it's all about the psychology of the crowd, similar to the Leo in general, and working with entrepreneurs and what makes people motivated to take action. Well, we understand the value of teaching developers to build their own brand and their own investor base. And that played very, very well with the audience. We also believe in education, and very, very few platforms, Dan, are actually focusing on that. Most of them are just bringing on projects and then looking for investors. What we're saying is, no, we want to educate both developers and investors to understand this market better, so they can benefit themselves and make more informed investment decisions, which plays well with the FCA. So that's important.
And does that land with a property developer or an investment agent?
Absolutely. I mean, I'll give an example. So we ran the event on Tuesday. We then offered an opportunity for developers to come and meet myself and John Corey, our consultant, tomorrow night in London. We've had 19 different developers book in to come to our private workshop tomorrow night. So that gives an indication that developers, when they hear our approach and our USP, they're very, very interested in engaging with us and hearing how we can help them better make use of property crowdfunding. So very, very exciting. And again, I think it fits in with the whole world of Leo, Dan. This whole education, unleashing human potential, education, that's where the world's moving to. And people who educate themselves in property development through crowdfunding platforms are going to be in a great space going forward.
Okay, very cool. Because you are starting from sort of ground zero now, so you're building everything up. But you already have some projects lined up, right?
Yes, absolutely. We have a number of projects that we are working through. Again, the compliance, as you can imagine, is very, very strict in terms of who are the developers. But of course, Portugal, the Leo members will be delighted to know that Portugal is one of the projects that we're preparing to launch on this platform. And that will be really exciting for the whole world of Leo when they see our wonderful project in Portugal, which is going very well. And there will be an opportunity, hopefully, for Leo members to engage in that. Which is going to be very exciting for everybody.
Yeah. Now, as we've said very, very clearly, that this is not a compensation plan driven thing, but on the left-hand side of this screen, potential for up to 30% returns per annum.
Yes, correct. Within crowdfunding platforms, that's very much the norm for some type of projects. That would be for what's called planning gain projects. People wanting to take a punt, we would say, in terms of a project that can get planning gain and thereby be worth a lot more. So we obviously don't give any financial advice to anybody. We simply share the information with them and they can make up their decision. But certainly 30% and even above is not uncommon on crowdfunding platforms, which is very exciting.
Yeah. Which is enough to sort of pique anyone's interest, really.
Very much so when they understand the potential of these type of projects. But we also have property bonds, which you can also see in the screen, which is more mainstream in terms of debt. Comes with a degree of security. So there's the two ends. There's a safer type investment in property, and then there's the more speculative type, and everything in between sits on a platform.
Okay. And property bonds are quite unique little features there as well, because they're quite assured, yet they provide liquidity.
Correct. We feel this is very much a USP in terms of marrying property bonds with our platform, and I think it gives us a whole different audience without getting into things like ISA money within the UK. There's potentially pension money, ISA money. That type of money can then flow into a crowdfunding platform. So very exciting. I'm very excited by this. I know the Leo members that I've spoke to, the leaders at various events, are really excited, the ones that understand this space. And I think, Dan, this is a significant step forward for the whole world of Leo in terms of the ecosystem. I think this is really, really exciting. I look forward to engaging with the leaders in due course at various events. And if anyone's got questions, reach out to me. We'll answer any questions you have.
No, definitely. No, and thank you for coming on, David, because there's only so much we can do on a broad purpose GAM like this. But it is quite a feather in the cap time, really, both for you and for Leo, the organization, because this is something that is delivering real value, in the real world, and it's not easy to do. I have to say that I am so much an admirer of your persistence and resilience to sort of stick through this and go through, what, a year and a half of developing.
Yes, no, thank you for that. It's been a long journey, but I believe passionately in property investment, and I believe passionately in crowdfunding, and this can only be good for Leo in general.
And then it's a great space for us as an organization as well, because we have this fundamental philosophy, as both of us have referred to, of learn, earn, and own. And this ownership thing is I mean, the thought of it titillates me in a sense. We have members that have become financially quite well to do through their Leo business, and to be able to offer them an understanding of what to do with their money in this as well is just extraordinary, kind of the circle coming full circle. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just
a very cool degree of direct selling company.
Yes, I agree 100%. The synergy of this is fantastic. There's the initial learn, earn, the initial stage of Leo as it begins to grow. But I think what you saw in the last number of years is real stability. It's a real company with real, ecosystem affiliated companies. And this is just another one that has just got serious traction and a real tangible benefit, particularly to Leo leaders who have earned some income and who are interested in perhaps investing in property investment as part of a diversified portfolio. So it's concrete, it's real, and that can only but benefit the organization as a whole.
Yeah, it's another great thing to talk about. So looking forward to getting some collateral on this, and I know that the website is up and running, so there'll be plenty of information there as well. So thanks for that, David, and really this is a very good moment for both of us. So congratulations, my friend.
Thank you. I wish all the leaders and the Leo members around the world all the best, and look forward to talking to you soon.
All right, cheers, David. Thanks a lot. So that is just kind of cool. So we started that with the webinar just to share that good news with you. And again, like David suggested, this should give you a lot of confidence that what we're doing here is real, and it's not always easy, and building a real business in the real world takes time. And this is a little bit where our seminars fit in, because we teach people and we don't expect the soil to instantly sprout a tree. Learning is something that takes time, and building a business is something that takes time. You have to do the foundations first, to mix metaphors, foundations and seeds and what have you. But our live seminar program is so important. Because coming up in Finland on the 24th of November now, this is a country that is surrounded by other countries, like most of the countries, I suppose. But we have Russia, Ukraine, we have the Baltic states, we have my country, Sweden, and we have Finland. And apparently on this seminar, we have people from Pakistan coming. So we have something on the order of in excess of 10 or 12 different countries attending this seminar in Finland on the 24th of November. Very, very exciting myself to be attending and training there. So I think it's sold out now. So I'm just kind of giving you a heads up that this will be a very good seminar, and I look forward to meeting all of you there. So that's one. In Dubai on the 8th of December, we're starting to pick up in the Dubai region, which is the Middle East. And this seminar will have people from Saudi Arabia, from Oman, from Jordan, from the entire region are coming to this seminar with Andy Hansen and Waqar Suhail. I also have a rumor that a minister from the UAE government is attending, but it's not confirmed yet, so I shan't share the name. But it's just interesting to see that our entrepreneurship platform and our education base is attracting attention and endorsement from the highest levels of political life in UAE. So that's just very, very cool. Then want to give you a reminder of the Brazil Carnival. If you've qualified and you need a visa, I hope you started the process already, because it's now running into dates and deadlines. Visa processing for some countries can take, just moving that, 8 weeks. And that means that you have until the 30th of November to redeem your tickets and assign tickets to your guests. and you have until the end of December to upload your visas and those of guests if needed and print your ticket. That means if it takes you 8 weeks, you're already late and in panic mode. If you haven't done it, do it today. If you haven't done it today, don't wait till tomorrow, do it today anyway. Go on the ticket booking guide on the downloads page and get all the information that you need. We will help you every which way we can, but you've got to do the work. And it's really important because you will cry if you miss this because you were too lazy to get your visa sorted out in time. Just saying. Now, 2019 is around the corner and our Momentum conventions are in full build. The Chinese one, or rather the Asia Pacific one, around the Hong Kong office, is the cruise. And this is just quite epic. It's this China's biggest luxury cruise ship, a bit of an icon in its own right in that region. It has a theatre on board where we do the trainings, so we can have 1,000 people training auditorium on the cruise ship to share everything we want to share, because we are in international waters and we don't have to hold back at all. We can tell you the warts and all, the dirty secrets, the scandals that we've experienced, and we don't have to worry about anything. No, I'm only joking. It's just a fantastic opportunity, a 3-day cruise, and it's for you and your new Platinum. Now, both these members have to be located in the Asia region. There's no limits on the amount, but only 1,000 tickets are available. And the Dubai region incentive is in a luxury hotel, which is a different kind of thing, but again, very, very epic. Now, if you're not in either one of these two regions, if you're in the ROTW, the rest of the world, you can qualify and choose one or other of those two places, which means we have assigned tickets for international delegates. For the Asia region cruise, 50 tickets. For the Dubai region, 450. That means that you'll be reimbursed travel costs, you'll have the accommodation, and terms and conditions. I think they're already published, but if they're not, they'll be coming incredibly soon. So that is the lineup for the Momentum 2019 tour. It's a good-looking bunch of people with the young man in the middle there, and we're looking forward to seeing you there, because this is what drives the business. And this is in the first half of 2019. It starts off 2019, and 2019 will be our year, because part of 2019 is ongoing media attention, more and more attention coming our way, totally unsought for by Leo, but it's kind of coming all the time because our business hits a nerve. It kind of is something that's of the moment. If we were selling skincare or nutritional supplements, we could make an argument that this is timely and something that's more important than ever. But reality is we'd be stretching a little bit. Entrepreneurship, training, education, learning, that is the spirit of our times. This website here, bizepic.com, is an independent website that publishes media and articles. They were talking about the side hustle. And this was interesting for two reasons for us, because this is what we believe in. Millennials are starting to accept that they need to have some sort of gig economy driver in their life. Most millennials resist the idea of corporate slavery and working for an organization for all of their life and paying the price to be a cog in someone's machine. Running a business part-time, some sort of gig alongside their business is seen as very attractive to them. And cited in this article is there's a growing trend of direct selling as a side hustle. So that was very, very cool. But then in addition to that, they were actually talking about Leo, and this is cited from the article. In fact, one organization, Leo, even specializes in online training, which can help you make a big success of your business. And it also refers to the Direct Selling Association UK, because there are so many scams out there pretending to be a direct selling business. And of course, we're very proud of our DSA relationships in all of our major markets. So for us, this was also a very important kind of public beware citation, if you like. But it was, again, cool that it came in an independent article that Leo was mentioned and the direct selling industry, the Direct Selling Association UK was mentioned. Leo Coin 3 is very much part of 2019 for us as well, because for the first time ever, we are going to put a stake in the ground for the launch date for Leo Coin 3. And the date that I'm revealing to you for the first time here today is the first month of 2019. 30th of January is our target date for launching Leo Coin 3. We've been set back by some delays. There's been some security concerns on Ethereum. Some of the smart contract architecture there has been exploited. So we had to go back to the drawing board a little bit. But we won't be forced into launching something before it's ready. You know that we would rather take an honest delay than an immature launch, because we are doing clever things here. We've got new wallets, new exchanges, new proof of stake mechanism and smart contracts. These are things that are not kind of just drawing on a blackboard and saying that this is nice, this is what we're going to have, and then never launching it. I get desperately sad when I see how many scams out there are launching so-called cryptocurrencies and they don't even have a blockchain. The idea of taking people for a ride because they're not educated about what things mean and just flicking their greed switch, the whole thing just fills me with horror. So 30th of January, Leo Coin 3 will be launched. That means that we'll start 2019 with a bang, with everything else feeding into that. The Leo Coin marketing service, that incentive is ending soon. You also know that what's going on in the world with the Bitcoin price. It has dropped quite significantly. When I looked at it this morning, we were at something like $5,200 odd, which is as low as Bitcoin has been in a long time. And this is the first time in recent history that Bitcoin is worth less today than it was a year ago. And it's kind of crossed that line. Now, I spoke to different people today, and some say that maybe it's Ripple doing a pump and dump, because Ripple has gained traction, or some traction, whereas Bitcoin has gone down. Or maybe it's the war with Bitcoin Cash, and maybe some of the stakeholders in Bitcoin Cash are cashing out on Bitcoin because they're putting all their money into Bitcoin Cash. Who knows? Nobody really knows. Usually we understand why the Bitcoin price moves about 3 weeks after it's moved. So what is interesting at the moment is that the cost of mining Bitcoin makes Bitcoin mining only profitable in certain extreme geographies. In other words, to put it plainly, really only Bitcoin mining in China is profitable at the moment. And what we're seeing is a consolidation of mining operations, and certainly altcoins are following in the same way. What does that mean in terms of the DMS? Well, we anticipate that we'll be hard-pressed to maintain the reward levels of DMS. We'll do our level best, and we're working, fighting tooth and nail to hold it together. And we'll always be honest with you. And I'm just saying, it probably will dip down again, and it behooves me to be honest with you. But who knows? It could also change in a heartbeat, because this market, this cryptocurrency market, is not rational. We could see gains of Bitcoin and the rest of, if Bitcoin goes up, the rest of the markets go up, and we could see gains of that of 10, 20, 30, 50% in a matter of a few short weeks. Who knows? But it's very volatile, and it's very interesting out there. Nevertheless, the Leo Coin Market Service, that incentive and that swap potential is something that's going to be ending soon as well. The Rank Award incentive is insanely generous, and we're monitoring it and we're looking at it, and we don't think that it can last much longer either, because we don't want to flood the market with too many awarded coins, because that would be detrimental for the long-term viability come January. So that's ending soon as well. A few office closures, not closures, but there's days of rest in Ivory Coast and UAE, 21st of November and the 30th of November, if you have business in any of those two markets. So finally, the call to action is the same as ever. Take more action, speak to more people, make yourself excited, go out there and speak to people, because you will change people's lives. I was speaking to someone just this morning, one of our members, one of our leaders, and he had a Muslim perspective. Yeah, he's a Muslim and devout, and he said, do you realize, Mr. Anderson, do you realize how many people, just because of your Leo business, has been able to give them the opportunity to do Hajj, to do pilgrimage to Mecca? And I thought, wow, that's a big thought. I've never thought of that before. Some of you Muslims on this call will understand what I'm talking about, because that's kind of a big thing. I mean, I've done a Western pilgrimage in my time before, and it's kind of a big thing. Now, that's just the tip of the iceberg. What is also very, very cool is that we've made a good few people financially incredibly strong, and changed their financial fortunes for them and their families. But more important than that is that we've given thousands of people a supplemental income that really makes a difference. So we are changing people's lives, and you mustn't forget that, because sometimes these webinars, they happen once a week and they're kind of a bit the same, and you kind of lose sight of what's important. You have the opportunity to change someone's life by exposing Leo to them. What they do with that is up to them. You can't make the horse drink just because you took it to the water, but you have an opportunity to change people's lives if you just expose it to people. And if you wait and don't do it, that chance could be something that they would regret if they knew about it for the rest of their life. So this is Dan Anderson saying thank you very much indeed for your kind attention. Thank you very much indeed for your hard work and for your loyalty and your commitment. We are here and we are building a business together that will go and make our first 6 or 7 years look very small indeed. 2019, I'm getting very, very excited by, and I look forward to seeing you all at the